question. Tokitae is known as Lolita at the Miami Seaquarium. She's been in captivity for so long.
Decades.
Yeah.
Yes.
What is going to be the transition if she, in fact, is moved back to Puget Sound?
Well, that's an important thing to bring up. They're not just going to drop her into the ocean, right? She will be in that net pen, so she will have some security and she won't be, wandering off per se. She will also have human contact. I know the Lummi tribe is very interested in that. There is the hope that she would be able to contact members of her family. There's an understanding that her mom may still be alive, and that Tokitae actually knows the song of her people, for lack of a better word, of her group of whales. They've played it for her. She seems to recognize it. So there will be that part of integrating her into the water, and some of it is she may recall on her own. She was 5 years old. She was a little bit older than some of the whales when they were captured and put into captivity. And the bottom line is the hope is that she will be in a place that is just simply healthier for her. More places to swim, a wider range to swim, far deeper than where she is, and in a climate that she's supposed to be living in anyway.
Are there any concerns that she would not be able to feed herself? Or she would have to live out her captivity in a net pen in Puget Sound for the rest of her life?
That would, advocates would say, be preferable to be hand-fed and living in that net pen versus living in a crumbling small tank in temperatures she was never supposed to live in. They're actually having to put protective sunblock on her. Oh. She's not supposed to be living...
Sunscreen? Literally,
yes.
They have to sunscreen an orca whale?
She's not supposed to be living, in temperatures like that with direct sunlight all the time. She's not built to do that.
Okay, so what is the Jim Irsay connection? He's spending millions of dollars.
$200,000 a month just for her care and feeding. He is a philanthropist. He owns the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah.
And he's just decided that he is smitten with this orca. He wants to do right by her. He's excited about it. He's putting all the money into this. And he, as you can hear, he's sort of playing the role of the hype man now. Let's get this done. He said, get it done by Thanksgiving. So some other media organizations latched onto that and said, oh, great, she'll be home by Thanksgiving. No. I talked to the advocates who are organizing this, and they're saying that's going to be hard to do. But that's up to him to be optimistic and say, hey, I've got the money. Yeah. I got the practical people saying, but Heather, first, we have to have all these agencies sign off on this, like National Marine Fisheries, Animal Plant and Health Inspection with the USDA, Department of Natural Resources in Washington State, Department of Ecology, Army Corps of Engineers.
Yeah.
So there are all of these layers they have
I don't understand that.
They have to check first.
So you didn't have to get any kind of a permit to steal an orca whale out of the ocean.
Welcome to 1970.
But you have to get all these steps and hoops jumped through to return one.
Yes, at this
which
point.
Sounds crazy.
Right.
Has there been any other examples of where something like this has been successful or not successful?
The Free Willy movie was based on a whale that was released, but in that case, the whale was just put back into the wild. The whale was very young. I'm not sure it was even 2 years old 1 year old when it was captured and put into captivity. That whale did not survive. So they're learning from that, and that was separate. I think maybe back in the 80s when that happened. They're learning from that, and no one expects this whale to just plop her into Puget Sound and survive. Several steps that need to be taken, and yes, she will be probably cared for, at least monitored heavily for the rest of her days.
That's not even an analogous situation because a 2-year-old orca whale is the equivalent of like a 10-year-old child, right?
Yeah.
I guess what really hooked me on this story was I saw a picture of her mother recently.
Yeah.
L25, I think she's known as Ocean Sun also. 95 years old.
Yeah. She's still out there.
And imagine being a 95-year-old person, not seeing one of your children for decades.
And she comes back and you hear her singing the song or she recognizes the song. I mean, these are sentient beings.
Beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you, Heather.